Rick poses as a rich kid, Morty leads a rebellion, and a monkey walks away with loot. Yep, Rick and Morty Season 8, Episode 5, Cryo Mort a Rickver is peak chaos, and we're breaking it all down. The episode opens up with Rick and Morty listening to some podcasts when they detect a cryo ship that still has power. They break into the ship to investigate and discovered that the ship is harboring super rare hypercoal, which Rick plans on stealing. He is denied access to the vault, so he plans on blowing it up. Morty's not cool with that, so he tries to take the explosives from Rick. He accidentally fumbles the bag of explosives, setting them off, waking up the passengers of the ship from cryo sleep. Rick and Morty must now infiltrate the crew of the ship, Rick taking the place of a child named Jimmy, and Morty taking the place of a worker named Chachaco. We see that society on the ship is split in two, with Rick belonging to the upper echelon of society, while Morty belongs to the lower part. Eventually, Rick and Morty meet up again, which ends with Morty beating up Rick for making him go through with the plan even though he is mistreated as the lower half of society. Morty has to do things like pick up literal shit. Consequently, Morty beating up Rick incited a revolution. With the main attack happening during Rick's ceremony, this ceremony would have granted Rick access to the vault anyway, but Morty forces Rick's fake parents to open the vault. Once the vault was open, Rick and Morty, along with the rest of the cruise ship, discovered that all the loot had been taken by the original Jimmy and Chachaco. They had stolen the money after everyone was already in cryosleep and were gambling it away. This revelation sparked a space race, chasing down the large fortune of stolen money. Rick and Morty eventually corner the real Jimmy and Chachaco along with the stolen loot. In their fight with Jimmy and Chachaco, Morty opens up the airlock, releasing all the loot into space. The money was eventually gathered and paid off to loan sharks, and the crew finally got along after Rick implanted compliance chips in their heads. The crew was set on a course for a new planet, and Rick and Morty were off to their next adventure, which was another cryo ship with medical drugs on board. As for the post-credit scene, we see one of the crew's members and a monkey gambling money and actually winning, with the dealer saying that days like this is why she joined the gambling business. This episode, in my opinion, is hands down the best episode of Season 8 yet, and probably one of my new favorite episodes, period. This episode was a classic Rick and Morty adventure, and there were so many good jokes and gags. The beginning of the episode talks about a gruesome group decapitation of a lacrosse team, and later when Rick is mad at Morty, he says that he's gonna wish he was one of those kids after he gets done with him, which I thought was pretty funny. Something that's become more common as the show's progressed is Morty becoming more comfortable with Rick, and I just love seeing any opportunity where Morty rises above Rick, such as beating his ass like he did in this episode. This episode was entertaining all the way through. I enjoyed seeing Rick kind of in his feelings over his fake parents. He was very protective of them, which makes me want to see how Rick's parents were towards him in real life, and if we'll ever get that story. And one of my favorite parts of the episode was the space race where we see all these people chasing down the fortune. There was a funny song playing in the background of the episode talking about Lincoln and some crazy ass lyrics including like licking pennies or some shit. I don't know, but it was pretty funny. This episode just radiates with fun. This episode was super fun to watch. It's been a while since I've watched a fun episode of Rick and Morty. There have been entertaining ones, there have been good episodes, but this one is fun, entertaining, and good, all wrapped together. If you haven't seen this episode yet, I highly recommend going and watching it for yourself. I doubt you'll regret it. More videos are on the way, and as always, I'm just a side character, and I will see y'all next time.